Let's get right into it. Number 10. The poison garden. You've probably heard of the world's most dangerous animals. The deadly funnel web spider, the venomous stonefish, a squirrel when it's cornered, you know the usual suspects. But when was the last time you thought about a plant that could end you in less than a second? We tend to think of plants as benign, maybe a bit boring, like the beige wallpaper of the natural world. But some plants are so aggressively toxic, they make spiders look like fluffy puppies. In the historic Alnwick Garden in Northumberland, England, there is a special section dedicated to some of the deadliest botanicals in the world. It's called the Poison Garden, and it's a living museum of things that will absolutely kill you. Visitors are literally guided past signs that warn them not to touch, smell, or even breathe too deeply around certain species. The stories behind some of these plants are wilder than any fictional horror film. They've been used for assassination attempts, ancient war tactics, and even as unfortunate decorations. The guide ropes and locked gates aren't for show. They're there because, in this case, curiosity would literally kill the cat. And you. Number 9. The Ricin plant. Speaking of deadly gardens, let's talk about the castor bean plant, which is so innocent-looking, it's often used in public parks and gardens as an ornamental shrub. It has these beautiful, star-shaped leaves and spiky red or green pods. If you've ever seen the movie Breaking Bad, you've heard of ricin, a highly toxic protein derived from this plant. Just a few milligrams can be fatal. The plant is surprisingly common, but the toxic component, ricin, is locked inside the seeds. The process of extracting it is what makes it so dangerous, and it's a terrifying example of how nature's most beautiful creations can harbor the darkest secrets. Ingesting just a handful of the seeds can cause severe internal bleeding, organ failure, and a spectacularly painful death. And while it's rare for people to accidentally stumble upon a deadly dose, the plant's ubiquity is a creepy reminder of the thin line between pretty and perilous. It's the botanical equivalent of a smile that promises a knife to the back. Number 8. The death camas. If you're ever out foraging for mushrooms or wild onions, you need to be absolutely certain you know what you're looking for. The death camas is a prime example of why. It looks eerily similar to a wild onion, same long grass-like leaves, similar white flowers, and even the same bulbous root. But here's the problem. Eating it will send you on a one-way trip to the emergency room, and likely beyond. The toxins in death camas, including zygosine, wreak havoc on your nervous system, slowing your heart rate to a stop. What makes it even more insidious is that the symptoms often take hours to appear, meaning you might have already eaten a lethal dose before you even feel a little bit off. It's the ultimate botanical double agent, an unassuming plant that promises a harmless meal and delivers a fatal heart attack instead. Basically, your nervous system is throwing a tantrum in your honor. Number 7. The hemlock plant. When we think of hemlock, we often think of the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, who was sentenced to death by drinking a cup of its poison. The plant itself, looking like a delicate Queen Anne's lace or wild carrot, is so common that you've probably walked right past it without a second thought. But don't let its unassuming appearance fool you. Every single part of this plant, the leaves, the stem, the roots, the flowers, is incredibly toxic. Its main neurotoxin, coneine, works by paralyzing your muscles, starting with your extremities and slowly moving inward until it reaches your diaphragm. The terrifying part is that it doesn't affect your brain at all. You remain fully conscious and aware as your body slowly gives up on you. You're essentially trapped in your own mind, watching as your physical self shuts down, unable to scream or move or do anything about it. It's a slow-motion, horrifying, silent death that makes you appreciate the fact that you can still twitch your nose. Number 6. The Rosary Pea. This plant has a name that sounds like something you'd find in a children's book, but the story behind it is anything but wholesome. The Rosary Pea, or Jequirity bean, has these gorgeous bright red seeds with a single black spot. They're so pretty, in fact, that they've been used for centuries to make jewelry and, you guessed it, rosaries. But here's the kicker. The seeds are incredibly poisonous, containing a lethal toxin called abrin. Now, the scariest part about abrin is its potency. It's one of the most toxic substances known to man, far more potent than ricin. The irony is that the hard outer shell of the seed protects you from the poison. As long as the seed remains whole, you're safe. But if you crush it, chew it, or heaven forbid, get a pinprick from a piece of jewellery made from it, the toxin is released. It's the perfect example of something that is safe to look at, beautiful even, but would turn on you in a second if you tried to get too close. It's the botanical equivalent of a smile that promises a knife to the back. Number 5. The suicide tree. Now this one doesn't even try to hide its intentions. The Cerbera odolum, more commonly known as the suicide tree, is a species native to India and other parts of Southeast Asia. Its fruit contains a powerful cardiac glycoside called cerberin. Eating the fruit causes your heart to seize up and stop. The most insidious thing about this plant is that the taste of the fruit is easily masked by strong spices, which has made it a popular choice for murder. In fact, a study in Kerala, India, found that over 500 deaths in a 10-year period were attributed to this plant, with a large number of them being homicides. It's the ultimate weapon of silent revenge, a perfectly normal-looking piece of fruit that can literally take a life without leaving a trace. It's a plant that has been complicit in more murders than a dozen serial killers combined. Number 4. The water hemlock. If you thought regular hemlock was bad, buckle up. Water hemlock is often considered one of the most poisonous plants in North America. It's a member of the carrot family and can be mistaken for parsnips or celery, especially by amateur foragers. The plant has clusters of small white flowers and hollow stems, and while it looks pretty harmless, it contains a neurotoxin called sacutoxin, which acts directly on the central nervous system. A small piece of the root is enough to kill a human, and it works fast. The initial symptoms are violent convulsions, delirium, and nausea. It's a rapid-fire assault on your body that progresses to respiratory failure and death. The scariest part is that unlike Socrates' slow, peaceful demise with regular hemlock, this plant delivers a swift, agonizing end. You don't have time for last words or philosophical musings. You're too busy having a seizure. It's the botanical equivalent of a horror movie jump scare, and it's a terrifying reminder that some of the most dangerous things in the world are hiding in plain sight. Number 3. The Oleander. You've probably seen oleander bushes. They're a popular ornamental plant in many warm climates, with their beautiful pink, white or red flowers and long, slender leaves. They're everywhere, in parks, along highways and in people's gardens. But behind their innocent beauty lies a powerful secret. Every single part of this plant is toxic. Ingesting any part of it, even a small amount, can cause a chain reaction of symptoms, including vomiting, dizziness, and a wildly irregular heartbeat. It's the kind of plant you'd be tempted to use in a summer bouquet, but one that would send you to the hospital instead. In fact, even the smoke from burning oleander branches can be toxic, so don't even think about using them for a bonfire. It's a plant that's so pretty and so poisonous, it feels like it was designed by a mad scientist with a flair for the dramatic. Number 2. The Manchineel tree. This is it, the most dangerous tree in the world. The Manchineel tree, native to the coasts of Florida, Central America and the Caribbean, is so toxic that it has to be surrounded by warning signs. Its fruit, which looks like a small apple, is sometimes called the little apple of death. But don't even think about taking a bite. Just being near the tree is enough to cause problems. Its sap is so caustic that if it gets on your skin, it will cause blistering burns. Standing under the tree during a rain shower can cause your skin to erupt in painful welts as the rainwater carries the toxic sap. Even burning the wood is a bad idea, as the smoke can cause blindness. Basically, if you see this tree, you should walk in the other direction as quickly as possible. It's the ultimate do-not-touch plant, a perfectly normal-looking part of nature that's a walking death trap. Number 1. The white snakeroot. We've covered plants that will give you seizures, stop your heart, or burn your skin. But what about a plant that can kill you indirectly through someone or something else? Meet the white snakeroot. This unassuming plant with its clusters of white flowers is native to eastern and central North America. It's pretty, it's common, and it's a total wolf in sheep's clothing. The plant contains a toxin called trematol. The plant itself isn't a direct threat to humans, but if cattle or other livestock eat it, the trematol accumulates in their meat and milk. This is where it gets truly creepy. In the early 19th century, before anyone understood the connection, thousands of people in the American Midwest and South died from something called milk sickness. They would get sick with tremors, vomiting, and eventually fall into a coma and die. The cause was a mystery until a woman named Dr. Anna Pierce Hobbs Bixby, a self-taught medical practitioner, discovered that the people who were dying had all consumed milk from cows that were grazing on white snakeroot. It's the ultimate insidious killer, a perfectly normal-looking plant that uses an unsuspecting victim to carry its deadly payload. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the most dangerous things in the world aren't the ones you can see coming. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.